Do y'all want to see something dope? Well, before we actually get into the dopeness, welcome back. Happy New Year. It is 2024. We are definitely going to do this dope challenge, and here's how the challenge will go. I'll go over some of the key things, navigating and the toolbar, depending on what app you're using, and then also using the planner itself to be more productive and effective. And I want to see some spreads. So on our private Facebook group, or if you send them to me via the Instagram or the public group, via Messenger, I'm going to post them so we can see how people are definitely using it. So I'm going to use this in landscape mode right now. Great thing about it is, I can always increase, but let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm definitely not doing a voiceover on this one because I want to be able to point to all of the different tools, and let's see how fast we can get through this. All right, so number one, make sure that you're in the app, because a lot of people will open up their planner and they'll still be in the download section or the files of their either tablet, iOS, and or Android. So make sure you're inside the app. So I am inside Goodnotes. Don't worry for my Noteshelf people. I'm going to do the Noteshelf as well. So you'll have that option. All right. All right. So here we go. So first, when you're inside Goodnotes, I'm in Goodnotes right now. I'll show the same thing over in Noteshelf. But I'm going to do Goodnotes first. So in Goodnotes, you want to make sure that this is your writing mode. All right, so this is regular document view. I mean, you can't do anything. It's just all the hyperlinks. When you click that, you are in what is called writing mode. So the toolbar drops down. Not in writing mode, in writing mode. Noteshelf, totally different thing. I'll come back to that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start over on this left-hand side. Some of the things I'm going to go over for the challenge, but as we're going left to right, I'll come back to some things. So number one, this right here on the top left is, well, number one, this arrow that's going to the left, that will actually take you back to the library of all of your documents. This button right here is the undo, redo, right? And of course the search. I'm gonna come back and go into more detail of how I use those things. But we're gonna start with these first four for day one, day two challenge. Number one, the pen. So with the pen, you could use different pen types. You can use a fountain pen. Here's what I recommend people do. Number one, you have the pen on this side, and then right over here are all your pen colors. That one's a little bit hard to see, so I'm going to use another color so you can kind of see all of them. There we go. So you can kind of see all three of them over there. So these are you could have your top three pen colors. So first, you want to choose what pen you want to use. You can make the tip sharpness, pencil sensitivity, the different settings to draw and hold. I recommend having those all in there, and the fill color. I'll tell you why. Come back. The pen gestures, scribble to erase, circle to lasso. This is something new. We'll come back to those. Those are a little bit more advanced features. Different writing aids. Okay, we'll come back for those. And the Apple Pen. Now, over in the settings, which I'm not going to go back and do right now, but in the settings, they have it where you can say I'm left-handed and I hold my pen, like say I'm left-handed. There's different ways people hold their pen. I hold mine like this, or I'm right-handed, right? And that way it allows for all the pressure that may be on the tablet. It compensates for that. All right, so just make sure you do that in the settings. So you're gonna go back. But here's where we wanna start. All right, so we got our pen, and it's really depending on which one you want. You can make them thicker. How do you do that? You see where these three lines are. So these are the stroke settings. You get to have 3 defaults or favorites. You can make them as wide. That's the pen thickness. So that's a little bit thicker. This is the ball pen. using the same setting. And this is the brush pen. This is for more like calligraphy. It's pretty cool, right? So you just really got to figure out. So that's going to be one of the assignments. Figure out which pen you like, which stroke, all that princess sensitivity. I like the ball pen. Okay, so I'm going to erase. So we'll just go into the second one real quick. It is what it is, y'all. It's an eraser. You can also clear the whole page. We're not going to do that. You can also erase just the highlighter and not the stroke. You can have a precision eraser. So basically, it allows you to get in even closer. And like if you only wanted to erase like that section or something. Right, so that's how that works. Right now, we're going to erase. Standard. And of course you can have a larger size as well, depending on how much you need to erase. All right. The eraser is what it is. Then you also have, let's go back to the pen. When it comes to the stroke, you can have a solid line. You can have now a dashed line. Look at that. And then you can have a dotted line. Any stroke that you do, if you keep it on, press and hold, it'll lock it into a straight line for you. Okay. All right, so that's that. Use a bigger one here, right? All right, so let's go back. Again, you could change colors. I do use white because sometimes there's a darker page, or if I have a highlighter or something. But I would default it. Find what pen you want to use, default dashed or solid, and then get you a couple colors. Let's go straight to the highlighter. The highlighter, I use it for a couple different things. Of course, for highlighting. I'll use it for the monthly view as well. Like if I wanted to highlight, let's just do it. How about that? So if I wanted to highlight just this week, press and hold, turn it into a straight line, and I use it and I'll write like travel to blah, 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 right? Also, you can use the highlighter for your days of the week. I've done that as well. So if you don't want to use stickers, highlighter as well comes, so draw in straight line. That means when you do this, press and hold, it'll correct it to a straight line. There's also different thickness as well. And you can also change colors. Now on this one, you have your dropper. I hope y'all saw that. I'm gonna go back and do it again. Let's use this red. I'm gonna use this color and use that as my highlighter. So if I want it thicker, let's make it thicker. Now here, this is when you can start using all the tools. You can either use this eraser and say, I don't want it that big. Let me just bring it down some. All right, and use it that way. Sometimes I'll highlight, like if I have a blank space, like I may highlight that section of time so I don't overbook it. If I need to keep it open for someone else, I'll use that. And then the other thing that I'll do is I'll of course use it to highlight the dates. I'll use it for a dot. Let me come back here. I'll put the thickness all the way up and I'll literally use it for a dot. And I'll resize it. That'll be what we'll use next, but I'm just kind of showing everybody. I'll use it for like bullet points. Just like that, okay? So the highlighter, it is what it is, right? So I'm going to check this. Oh, look at that, it's still on the, so we did the pen, I did the eraser, we did the highlighter. All right, so now we're gonna do the shapes tool. Here's what I use the shapes tool for. If you tap it, require hold to snap to other shapes, fill the color in, right? So I wanna keep those just like that because I use this for time blocking purposes. So I'm gonna scroll in a little bit more. Again, whatever color you want, make sure it's on that, because that's the color that your shape is gonna be. So I literally will use it. Notice that line was not straight. I did a press and hold. And because I had this fill color, it filled in the inside with that color. Now, if you touch it, it'll bring up all these points that you can move. Make it smaller. Right, so let's say that on this day you have a meeting, but you still wanted to write other things or to do, right? You can do that. If you tap it again, you can make it bigger. Right, but notice you only have like the one shot to do that because of the shading or the fill-in color. So we can, I'm just gonna get rid of this real quick and we'll go back again. I just wanna block out this time, press and hold. There's my perfect shape. If I tap on it again, I can adjust it. Now this one's a little bit different. Now the other thing you can do, let's say you don't want this thick line and you really just want that. If you take your lasso tool and just lasso in the middle, this only does this in Goodnotes, FYI. You can move that out, or you can use this border here. You can use both or either one. So I'm just gonna use this. I'll use actually both of them separately so you can just kind of see. So this is just border, nothing on the fill, and this is just the inside of it, right? You use it for time blocking purposes. Notice this one, you cannot adjust. This one you can. So we'll just put that right back, kind of, sort of, there. Okay. All right, so those are the first 4, because remember, it's a challenge. And we're at 10 minutes. Because I want to go over Noteshelf. So I'm using Noteshelf 3. So I'm in Noteshelf right now. So all my Goodnotes people, I'm in Noteshelf. Notice the top. Some similarities. This takes you back to the library view. This takes you to the thumbnail view. So there's the thumbnail. This undo button. With both of them, you can customize your menu bar. The biggest difference between Noteshelf and Goodnotes is, notice in Goodnotes, I had a drop down. Notice drop down menu. Okay, enable, disable. In Noteshelf, there is none. So you can be here and then click goals and be in hyperlinked. Okay. The difference is, notice when I click the pen tool, if I tap on it, you got 4 different pens and a pencil. So there's the pencil. So you got your, and you have your hold to convert to shape, so that stayed. Over here, let me see if I can move it. You can move your control anywhere on the screen. So anywhere that they highlight it, you can have it. See how that highlighted it, right? So we're just gonna keep it over here on the left side. So now when I click my pen, I can change the color. So I have my 3 defaults, and then I can make my own colors. You have your grid, you have your dropper. So if you want to actually stay in the color scheme, there it is, and it was added. I kind of like these right here, so I'm gonna use that one. So for your pen, again, you have your felt pen, you have your fountain pen, and you have your ball pen. So I like the ball pen better in Goodnotes. I like the felt pen better in Noteshelf. I mean, go figure. And then over here, you have your favorites of, you know, how thick you want your lines, your pen tip, right? So that's a thinner, of course, right? You also, here you just have your highlighter first, same thing. The only difference is the highlighter, so let me erase. I'm gonna erase this really, really quick. I could clear page, I probably should do that. Here you have a flat highlighter. So notice how it's on a chisel. Still press and hold, it'll straighten. Or you have a round highlighter. Make sure you have those little more round edges. Notice you can move this around a little bit too. I don't think you can do, oh yeah, you can actually. So you can do the exact same thing. Okay, so Noteshelf and added a couple things on there. And then you do have the shapes tool. So you could default to a shape, or you can do a freehand. So that's what this one is, kind of like a freehand. So you can, okay, that one just didn't like how I did it. So let's go back here. There, okay. Still in Noteshelf. I'm gonna do that exact same thing so I can block off time. All right, so the biggest thing is notice that this didn't shade in right here, okay? You still can move it, but it's more of a outline and not really a time block. So you have to time block like that instead of like the fill in. But if you had like an image, you can also adjust the image. So the other thing is, I think that was it. I think I did everything. Hold on, let's see. We did the pens, same thing with the pens. There is no dotted line on this one, so no dotted lines. We did the eraser, we did the highlighters. Remember, there's 2 types of highlighters, and you could change the colors over here. And then you have your shapes tool. So you could do freehand, or you can actually say I need a square, and it'll make you a square. You could still adjust, make it bigger, smaller, wider. And that's it. All right, so here's the challenge. All right, woo, right on time. I'm looking at my time here. Day 1, so I'm gonna go back to Goodnotes. Mostly everybody that is in the group is on Goodnotes. Goodnotes is probably used more than Noteshelf. But the key really isn't which one you're using, it's just understanding the tools that you have to use it. That's all. Right, so once you understand the tools, game over. That's why we're doing the challenge. All right, so day 1, we're gonna set up your favorites on your pen. So I don't care if it's Goodnotes or Noteshelf, we're gonna set up the favorite. So on Goodnotes, the favorites are gonna be up here. Notice I could add probably one more. I didn't see that. Oh, nice, okay. Actually, look at that, I can add up to probably like 5 or 6. So I can have my whole, like you could have, like if you wanted this whole color scheme, just use that little dropper right there and kind of do your thing. All right. Then also, so you could do your whole color scheme, get your pen, adjust the, I think only the fountain pen and the brush pen have the sensitivity. That one doesn't. I use the ball pen all the time. So you get your pen. So number 1, you're gonna set up your favorites. What pen are you gonna use, what colors, and what type. Type is the stroke setting. So are you gonna do, I have like a thick one, and usually I change that to, yeah, I don't want it to be dotted. I want that one to be solid too, right? And I need that one to be solid as well. The pen thickness for this one is 1.7. Then I have a smaller one, and then I do keep a dotted one in there. And you're just gonna change the colors, right? So pick your colors. Same thing for your highlighter. There's your 3 thicknesses. You can have your colors. So if you're using things to block out, let's say that means, I don't know, business. This one is travel. We could put another color in there. Again, you can add colors with the dropper. When you do that little plus right there, there's the dropper, and you can use that. So we'll talk more about that color scheme. So I just want people to be familiar with what's there. Day 2 is when you're going to do your highlighter. So day 1, all I want you to do is work with this, because this is going to be this is one of the most important tools you're going to use, is the pen and the text, but we got to get familiar with it. Day 2, you're going to do the highlights. So what I want you to do is go highlight some dates. So you can either highlight dates in the monthly section. So you can either highlight dates in your monthly section, kind of like I did here, like block out dates. You can also, let's see. Oh, where's my highlighter? I'll use this one. You can also, I know that doesn't look perfect. Just roll with me. You can also like kind of block stuff out this way too. I mean, it doesn't have to look like that, but y'all kind of get the gist, right? You probably want to have like a smaller line. All right, so we're going to block off dates. All right, or you're going to use the highlighter to time block, or you can use your pen to time block. We're going to use that shapes tool doing that. You can also highlight your dates up here. So you don't necessarily need stickers. Press and hold. If it's too much, use your eraser. Go in and just look at that. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Same thing here. Let's say that at 5 o'clock you are doing something. Oh, that's too big. Let's use our eraser, kind of bring it on in. All right, so that's all I want you to use. Day 1, set up your pen, get your favorites together. Same thing for Noteshelf. Set up your pen. Which one are you using? Do your favorites over here, set them up, right? Different sizes. Day 2, we're gonna use the highlighter. Same thing. Oh, that's the eraser. Hello. Use the highlighter. You're gonna use a round one, or are you gonna use the flat? What colors are you gonna use? What's the thickness? Are you gonna add your own color? Because there's the dropper now. FYI, the dropper is a new thing. I think it's fabulous. And that's all. So when you do your spread, share it. I'd love to see a picture of it. You can put it in either the private Facebook group. The private Facebook group is for FOR 1dope planners only, or you can send it in the Facebook page as a message, or you can send it in the Instagram message, right, through IG. Either way, we'll get it. And just take a screenshot of it, however you screenshot on whatever device you use, and then just send it as a picture. I'd love to see it, and we'll post it. 2 days, starting today, and we'll be checking in. So that's day 1 and 2 of the challenge. We look forward to seeing your spreads. I'll do one as well, just so you can kind of see, just using those 4 tools: the pen, the eraser, the highlighter, and the shapes. That's it. And we'll go from there. All right, y'all have a great day, great evening, and keep on planning, because planning is dope, right? It's better to be productive than to be busy. And here you can be productive with 1dope planner. Have a good one.